Hey, man.
How you doing?
Good. I haven't seen you in a day.
I know. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I need you.
That's cool. I don't really think about you when I'm gone.
Yeah.
It's actually a nice
You actually have a life outside of this.
Yeah, I just do other things. The things that I don't get to do because I'm working for you, Scrooge.
Yeah. I am very much on my way to becoming Scrooge.
Except you pay me, though.
That's true.
Like, Scrooge was like a stingy
He was
fuck.
a miserly man. The guy's like son was sick.
Yeah.
And then he still didn't pay him.
Well, then the magic of Christmas changed him, though.
Dude, I love Christmas.
Same here.
Someone once was like, what do you like more, Christmas or Holy? And I'm like, fucking Christmas.
That's good.
Only because my mom, all of, like, Indian holidays are incredible. Mm-hmm. They're like, super, like, Holi is one where it's like the festival of colors. It looks incredible, especially on camera. Like, the cinema of Holi is fantastic. But our family is so religious that we turned everything into like this austere, sad thing. Diwali, Holi. They're supposed to be like these exciting, like
celebrations.
Celebrations. So Christmas that's my time.
Well, I'll see if we can get a spot with, next time with my family. If you can come, I doubt it.
And then I'll hate Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, today's episode is about something that you and I have a ton of experience in.
I mean, a ton. I feel like we are, like, not to brag, but the quintessential examples, of
LooksMaxxing.
LooksMaxxing, yes.
Which is the topic of today's Welcome Back to the Becoming the Killer podcast, episode 7.
Yeah.
All about LooksMaxxing. How have the mighty fallen?
How the mighty have fallen.
How the mighty have fallen. We used to make cinematic director series videos.
And now we're BlackPilled.
Now we make BlackPill content because people need the truth.
Yeah.
About female nature.
We saw the light, which was darkness.
I'm so sad.
Yeah.
I'm such a sad person.
Life has gotten significantly worse since becoming, I'm not actually BlackPilled, but...
Yeah, only when I'm suicidal, which is only between 7:30 and 8:30 a.m.
Yeah.
I just got my passport renewed. This screenplay, it's honestly, I probably could start shooting it. I'm just scared. I'd have to shoot it in Unnao, India. The mosquitoes in Kanpur and Unnao, where my dad grew up, are like this big. Genuinely quite big.
That's frightening.
Yeah, and
India's like Jurassic Park.
They like Indian American blood more. They find me to be very sweet.
Just plump and fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time I was in India living in my grandpa's house, and I woke up and there were a bunch of mosquitoes that were on the wall, and I could see the red through them, and they were just sitting on the wall not moving, which a mosquito is not prone to doing, but they were full.
Damn.
And it was my blood that was inside them.
You don't wear the nets when you sleep?
I think there was a hole in the net.
Okay.
You give them a gap and they'll find a way in.
Yeah. That's frightening.
That's the male psychology in general.
Well, I guess I'm not going to India.
Yeah, you can't take that trip. I'll be hiring local cinematographers and
Good
stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put you through that.
Thank you.
You also would just say no.
Yeah, who knows? India seems like a cool place. I've been recommended to go there like a lot.
Honestly, Mumbai, you might thrive in. Like you might be like the Shantaram character incarnate there.
That'd be pretty cool. Heroin's not my thing, but I could get into it if that's the role I need to play.
Lee Baba.
Yeah. Lin Baba. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to finish that book.
You can just save yourself at any point from an awkward point in the conversation when you say the sentence. The 4 words. The special words.
What are the 4 special words?
Roll that intro, dog.
Roll that intro, dog.
What it do, what it does, where you been, where you was, but it ain't what it is. Face in the mud, y'all really be hating in the mud. Said I can't pick it up, but I did. Y'all know Goon put too much bass in the sub. Cup full of blood and I gave it a chug. Wait till your neighbors get all snug, then play this real loud where you live.
See, I just saved you.
Yeah, you did save me. Jase Medical is an online telemedicine service that offers the one thing that's missing from everyone's emergency preparedness kit: antibiotics. Whether you're planning your 2022 travel essentials or catching up on basic preparedness for you and your family, Jase Medical makes it easy and affordable for you to get the supplies that you need. The innovative format of Jase is the first of its kind in the US. Jase Medical's goal is to help empower its patients with the tools necessary to take action and care for themselves and their loved ones. It's made by doctors and prescribed by them for patients everywhere. Jase Medical is for adults who desire an emergency supply of medication to have on hand in the event of a serious emergency or when professional medical help is not available. Just fill out their online form and one of their board-certified physicians will review it to determine whether the medications are safe and appropriate. They then send your prescription to one of their pharmacies where your Jase order will be filled and mailed directly to your home. You can also send your physician messages for answers to treatment-related questions anytime. Remain at the ready with immediate attention to infections when on a trip or camping. Secure your own supply of basic antibiotics with ease and peace of mind. Thank you to Jase Medical for sponsoring us. Now on with the episode. Let's get into it, man. LooksMaxxing. Do you have initial thoughts about LooksMaxxing? Because I used to be obsessed. There was no terminology about this back in the day, but I was kind of a plump little 8th grader. I did cross country and I shot up 6 inches and suddenly I believed in LooksMaxxing. And I would have vision boards about like the clothes I wanted to wear and how I want my hair to look. And there was this TV show Heroes at the time where
I love that show. I've seen all of it.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm surprised because it's kind of trash.
It is kind of trash.
So I'm
it's
surprised
very
you're into it.
trash.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what came over me, but that show's like, I like it.
But that show was the first time where there was a sexy portrayal of an Indian man in American television. Like that guy was so sexy. Mohinder Suresh was the character, Dr. Mohinder Suresh. And I was like, this is it. Oh, now I know the path forward. I have to be Mohinder level sexy. And the number one thing that he had going for him was the jawline. And it made me realize like it's possible. It's possible for Indians in the United States, in the West, to be seen as sex symbols. And then I knew what my goal was. And I'm still working towards that goal every day.
Yeah.
Speak it into existence. Anyway, do you have any initial thoughts about LooksMaxxing? I encourage you to do a little bit of research on Wheatwaffles and the BlackPill ideology.
Yes, I did. I did a little bit. I checked out a little bit of Wheatwaffles. You know, prior to like delving into Wheatwaffles stuff, just upon hearing the word LooksMaxxing and like thinking the BlackPill ideology just at a surface level, I was a little bit like, no, that's probably not for me. I never had a phase where I never really got too analytical about my looks because I was always of the opinion that wasn't where I was shining, so I'd have to like leverage other things anyways, you know? And I now having delved into Wheatwaffles a little bit, I'm like sympathetic to some of the ideas of like, why let yourself get points off just for stupid things like bad breath or you know, a unibrow or some shit like that that's very easily fixable. Like just cover your bases in terms of hygiene and that kind of shit. But I don't like the way they totally devalue everything else, you know? Like personality being basically meaningless, and how there was he made a video where like if a Chad is not funny but makes jokes, chicks will laugh anyways. But if a nerdy ugly guy is funny, chicks won't laugh and will call him a creep. I'm like, I don't know what girls you're talking to, bro. Like, what do you mean? I think I know a lot of like fatter people, men who like aren't that good looking, but their game and like their ability to make females laugh is what like got them in the door, you know? And I've spoken about this too, where you do need that minimum threshold of looks to get in. But once you're past that, I do think the other elements can get you the chick. I know I just said a lot.
No, it's great. I just wonder so much of like what we think, because it's just us. It's like determined by our own experiences. And do we have some inherent bias that makes us not be BlackPill? Like it's easier for us to not be BlackPill. I mean, I would argue maybe the height pill is one of the most severe handicaps there is. I genuinely think it's truly unfair.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that because I don't want to like be discouraging to shorter viewers, you know? Yep. But at the same time, I just want to speak frankly. And I think this is a genuine thing. And I think it's something that kicks in that affects like, if you have a buildup of certain life experiences, that informs your confidence it like has a butterfly effect on everything. So we think that our confidence is self-developed, but maybe it's the fact that you and I both cross the 6 foot threshold.
Marker, yes.
Yeah. And I think our lives, even at 5'11", I do think our personalities would be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Solidly different.
I agree. I was giggling because height pilled. I just enjoy the suffix of pilled.
Yeah. Put pill on everything.
Inequality. Like, bro, I'm beer pilled. But I agree with that. We are going to carry a bias based on our experiences.
Yeah.
But that also just carries with it that Wheatwaffles has a bias based on his experiences. And I don't appreciate how objectively he kind of purports to be, you know, how everything he's like mapped it down to a science. And I'm like, like a lot of this is informed by whatever experiences he's had. And I think that the way they devalue personality, which is my biggest trifle with that crew, I think that's probably because a lot of them are boring.
Oh,
And
definitely.
they spend so much time laser focused on like their looks and what kind of moisturizer do I have to use and how can I make myself not look like a short idiot. You know, maybe if you spend some time like developing your character traits, you'd be more compelling to women too. You don't have to just rely on being a Chad and then them not caring about your personality to win them over. You can have both.
Also, like, so I took the Wheatwaffles, he like rates your looks and gives you advice.
Yep.
And tells you how to LooksMaxx. The only advice he gave me was go to the gym, but he gave me a 5. And as I spent a weekend watching a bunch of Wheatwaffles videos, I like never felt more depressed about my life.
Today was the first time I watched a Wheatwaffles video, and I have a girlfriend, but after watching that video, I was just convinced I'd never get pussy ever again.
Yeah, it's weird how it's easy to give other people advice and just know that it's true. Like now that I have a handful of coaching clients, I have just finally taken on one new coaching client. And it's like the advice that I can give when it's not me is so easy. I'm like, well, just do this, dude. And he'll be like, well, it's just tough. I'm like, this is just what it is.
It's because you have no emotional attachment.
I have no
to any
emotional
of it.
attachment. That's why one of my favorite stoicism exercises is the view from above, which is I have flipped it or adjusted it a little bit, which is see your own life from above. Pretend you're not you. Pretend you're like your body, your avatar is just some RPG character. Now tell your RPG character what to do. Now, what are you going to do when you're 5'8"? What would you tell? Like, let's say you play video games at different levels, right? This is not a new concept, but like, what if you were given the 5'8" character, the 5'6" character? What are you going to do with that character? Are you going to not play the game?
Jump off the edge of the map. I'm sorry, that was a joke.
Is there an option to light your character on fire?
No.
Welcome back to the BlackPill. Oh, that was a good one.
Get dragon armor and go hide in a cave.
Kill women.
The quest has changed. Yeah, but I guess, you know, find some pumps, you know, like some high heels. You know, I think, yeah, like the Wheatwaffles guy in the video, in a LooksMaxxing video where he was going over his own LooksMaxxing protocol, he like showed off his shoes and he was like, these had like 1.5 inches of height. I'm not doing a good Wheatwaffles impersonation, but you know, so he's doing little things. He's not quite 6 foot. So he is doing these things to boost him, which I think that was kind of a positive-ish moment of that video, because I feel like he's got this very overwhelming like doomer quality. But that part where he's like going over, like the idea of LooksMaxxing is kind of like a make yourself better thing. So I like appreciate that. You know, It's like trying to improve what you can.
Yeah, I just one argument is like we always have given the advice go to the gym. And one kind of feedback that Wheatwaffles has given, which I've heard from women, like there's some truth in that, is like if a short guy works out a ton and he becomes big, he'll just look like a manlet. Like he won't look good.
And he also said that like if an ugly guy gets super buff and strong it's like he's overcompensating. That, you know, because ugly, if you're ugly and you're big, it's like it doesn't matter because your looks don't meet the threshold. That's where like the doom shit gets too much for me.
It's like, why are you taking away hope? You know, maybe it's good to live in reality. It's like the Matrix. Like,
well,
it's better
because
to
he's
know.
BlackPill. That's why.
Yeah, I just fundamentally don't agree with that. Let's say I was short. I had an ugly face. All the sub 5 things which he talks about.
Yeah.
Short, ugly face, bald. Sub 5 F. Fat. Right. Okay. So short, ugly, bald, fat. I is inches. You're lacking in inches.
Height. Oh, penis?
I think it's penis.
Okay. Yeah, because short would be height.
Yeah.
Got it.
Inches. Your dick is lacking.
Yes.
We don't know anything about that.
My wiener is so big.
Mine is like 5 3/4.
Yeah. Yeah,
bro,
soft.
The amount I've stopped caring.
Well, I guess we do have this like anecdotal bias because I'm like, mine does sort of, to me at least, meet a threshold. But, you know, my girlfriend thinks I'm insecure about the size of my dick. So it's literally because she asked me about it and I was like, I don't really care. I don't know how much it is. And she was like, I don't believe you. And then I was like, well, I just don't. I think it's fine.
I measured it once when I was like in 8th grade.
That's what I'm saying. I've measured it a long time ago, but it seems to have tripled in size.
Yeah.
So it's now a whopping 3 inches.
V is vulnerable, which is just old.
Okay.
Which, now that my grays have started coming in, I feel like I look cooler with them, honestly.
Yeah, I think you with gray hair, you'll work nicely into it.
Well, I can see an image of you with gray hair, and I feel like it's like the Geralt of Rivia effect. You're just like you got the long hair.
Yeah.
Just the Witcher.
That's good.
And then E is ethnicity. Ethnicity being like, if you're not white, you're probably lower on the totem pole.
But that's also one thing where that's like also just comes down to individual taste, you know? I think I agree that maybe a larger percentage of, like, let's say white women maybe prefer white men, but then, you know, you could find white women who prefer Indian men, prefer, you know, darker skinned men in general. So it's like,
curry fever is a real thing.
Yeah.
They want to know like what Bollywood is, and they want to know like how you cook your food, and
but to across the board sort of take points off for ethnicity like Wheatwaffles does. I think that's another one of those instances where he's just kind of like taking away hope. It's like, why? You know, there's women out there who like Indian men. There's women out there who like every race. You know, just like my tastes are not just white women either, you know?
Most of the time, as an Indian American walking around, or even at like the gym that I go to, which I feel like 98% of the time I'm the only Indian guy in that gym. That's like, I don't know, it's either this house or the gym or out in the field. Most of the time I only see myself as the embodiment of the Indian man in Minnesota.
Yeah.
There's a pretty sizable Indian population here.
Yep.
But oftentimes it's felt like an asset to be Indian. You know, like when I walk into a room, or if I've ever gone on a date, like the music starts playing, the desert sands start coming in, and then the shoulders start going. And I think sometimes women can be like, wow, like what is this about? This is different. You know, I bring culture with me.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's unique.
Yeah.
You know,
it brings a little, it feels like an asset. I'm the only foreigner in the room. And one time at the gym, I saw another Indian guy it was my first experience seeing another Indian man at the gym. It was like a Hong Kong zoom in on my face. I was like, oh, I saw him.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I was like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to be the only sexy Indian guy here. You're ruining this for me.
That's good. There's a Key and Peele sketch where they're both a cappella singers with like a white group of a cappella singers. And then Keegan walks in the room and he's like, this is my group of white boys.
Dude, that's a little bit how I felt.
Yeah.
Because that Indian guy, he looked good. And I was doing squats, and I thought he was doing squats next to me. And I was like, fuck you, I squat more than you, dog. And then he started doing Bulgarian split squats, so then it became pretty impressive. And I was like...
So you ran away in fear. Yes.
There is a lot to the black pill in the sense that, yes, I agree. I think the sub 5 argument that he brings up, I think it's real. You know, like I take finasteride. I like try to guard against balding. I do like apply Rogaine every day, kind of like as a precautionary method, because I'm like 29 years old now.
Yep.
And in my later years, I can see myself doing something like testosterone replacement therapy or getting a hair transplant even. Because if it's something as 20 grand is going to make me slightly better looking, I will probably do it, you know? Not that I couldn't get to myself to a place where I accept myself as a bald man if that ever happens. Like I could, but if something is going to help frame my face better and it's like a quick cosmetic thing, I probably would do that, you know, because I find it to be advantageous in this profession, at least, to look as good as possible.
Yeah. And I mentioned this previously, but I feel like this profession is why I have become more intrigued by like the ideas of LooksMaxxing, because you become so analytical of yourself on camera, you know, and you do notice that the better you look, the higher the return, generally speaking.
Yeah.
And so I like the BlackPill ideas. I just don't go as far as them in their sort of like indoctrination, you know, this sort of cult-like mentality of this is all there is.
And also, it just doesn't account for the fact that, let's say you're an ugly guy or short ugly guy, and you go to the gym, and we accept this BlackPill ideology of like, it's not going to help increase your attraction because the base raw materials you don't have. You're too short and you're too ugly.
Yeah.
So going to the gym is not going to make you any sexier, and you're not going to get any more attraction. Well, fuck it, dude. Go to the gym anyway.
Get fucking shredded anyway.
Yeah, get strong and shredded anyway because, well, first of all, even the hot Chad dudes, they're getting sloppier by the day.
Yep.
Time is your ally.
Yes.
You want to take you maybe you'll beat the guy at fucking 60 because he's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take down the Chads when they're 60 years old. I'm like, I want to see defeat in their eyes when I'm 60. If
I just want to pick them off one by one.
Dude, pick them off one by one.
Second you get sloppy, I'm staying on point.
Dude, I'm not gonna lose.
And here's the thing, you know, about like his whole argument about short guys, you know, becoming manlets.
Yeah.
You know, even at our size, it's harder to become stupid looking and big.
Yeah.
But like, we know there's a point where tall guys look too big.
Yep.
You know, so it's like, look at your body, analyze how big you should get, because you can look at yourself and be like, that's too big. I look stupid now.
Yeah. I want to be big. Like, I don't feel big enough, but I want to be nimble and fast.
Yeah.
Which
but even like short guys who have like some muscle and are lean.
Good. Yeah.
I'm like,
you look great. You look like a better version of yourself.
Exactly.
And maybe one could make the argument, okay, it doesn't help with attraction, but it helps the mind, right? Just knowing that you are the best version of yourself, that's just for you now.
Yeah.
Like at some point.
And I don't give a fuck what the BlackPillers say.
Yeah.
Confidence helps with attraction.
It totally does.
Yeah.
Now I can look up myself in the mirror in many days, not every day. Man, honestly, it's probably like 60% of the time. I can look at myself at the end of the day and be like, I did good today. I did my best. A few days ago, just yesterday, I was in the gym trying to, my target was 390 for 3 reps. And
on deadlift.
On deadlift, yeah. 390 is, for people who lift, is not a particularly impressive deadlift number. It's good. It's all right. It's good.
Yeah.
For like a newbie, it's quite good. But a lot of people can deadlift 405 for reps easy. So I was not particularly impressive, but I was grinding so hard on that 3rd rep the first time I attempted it that these 2 bigger guys in the gym who I respect, the guy can like squat 560 pounds. Like these guys have some size to them and the years of dedication in the gym. They came up to me and they were like, that was a good pull, bro. That was a good pull. And I was like, why are you respecting me? Like this was such baby weight. But because actually the lifting community is so supportive and nurturing.
So supportive.
And you would think like, oh, the big brawny guy is going to be an asshole. No, they're the most encouraging. And it's like, even if we ever see like a fat dude in the gym, I'm never like, oh, he looks stupid. Or like,
they get me the most hype.
I'm like, bro, I admire you.
Yeah.
You're cool. You're fucking awesome.
Because starting the journey is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Seeing someone who like looks great and is working out, you're like, oh, you're not having a rough time in here.
No, we want to see the rise, right?
Yeah.
I want to see the underdog. And that effort is what creates respect amongst men, you know, even amongst people in general. But those guys, they kind of like coached me again to pursue that lift. They're like, you're trying this again. And it was this amazing feeling where like 10 guys at the gym were like looking at me as I was attempting this lift. And I felt so supported. And I was like, Look, who cares? Okay, even if there wasn't attraction or whatever, or maybe the gym doesn't let me to be a better looking guy, I don't get better aesthetics or whatever. There's something going on up here that is very valuable and it's very attractive. Look, just as a human being, I'm becoming more attractive by doing this. And let's not be so defeatist. Like, that is important.
That is the mentality. It's so defeatist.
In some ways, when it comes to LooksMaxxing your spirit and your heart and your hunger and your will to create a beautiful life, I think that's crazy LooksMaxxed. Yes.
But the thing is, just take looks off of that. It's like, that's just maxing out your life.
That's
what we would preach. It's like, why only looks? It's like, that is not the only thing that matters.
Yeah, but also it bleeds through on your face when you are, optimism shows on the face as a luster in the eyes. Like
passion for life, man.
It's like, dude, this guy, maybe he's ugly. Like Mahatma Gandhi, right? He's fucking ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was short and bald and ugly. He was all those fucking things. He probably had a small dick.
Yeah.
I mean, he created hope and inspiration. Like, that's just one example. Maybe that's an over extreme example, but like,
it's a great example. It's someone who, whose soul was like glowing, right? And he created just reverence. So, fuck the black pill. It's
man,
silly.
Or don't let it get you down.
Yeah, don't let it get you down. Because Wheatwaffles also, if you watch his videos, he's like, well-made videos, very convincing. He knows how to deliver, and he makes quality content. I'll say that much. But I just fundamentally don't like the ideas because I don't like how they make me feel.
There's also, I noticed this now as a YouTuber, there's all these subtle things that elevate your perceived level of authority, but it not necessarily should. Like, Wheatwaffles has a deep authoritative voice.
Yeah.
And he's got an English accent.
He's like the black pill James Johnny.
Yeah, and these things, Ali Abdaal had once talked about it in a video where he's like, one of the reasons why my productivity videos get views, it's like productivity videos, like 10 productivity apps I use. In fact, I've made an Ali Abdaal video in the past, like his style, and it has not gotten good engagement or views, and people are like, whatever, I don't care. This was kind of a dumb video.
Yeah.
And Ali Abdaal has made the same video, and people like watch the fuck out of it. And back in the day, I'd be like, oh, why him, not me? But he's got an English accent, and he is an ex-doctor, like a junior doctor from Cambridge. Some ways, that's just like... That's it.
And he's got like the little nerdy delivery. Like a lot of these subtle things like lend the idea that he has intelligence.
Yeah. It makes the perceived level of, even though if you watch one of Ali Abdaal's like productive day in my life video, he's very honest about how much he fucks around, with his day.
Yeah.
He's not like the paragon
of productivity.
Yeah, that wasn't that like Elon Musk or something. I mean, that's but those guys aren't making productivity YouTube videos.
But that was, that is in support sort of this like idea of looks maxing or maybe like perception maxing. It's
exactly.
Like all of this is perception, and if you are trying to get that initial attraction, and let's say you do have the 5-8 cards or whatever, some mixed hand, right? Just hitting the basics and maxing out what you can. I mean, this is what we say every fucking podcast, but it's like max out what you can and recognize where you're weakest. I did enjoy, he said, a guy who was like a 5 out of 10 in all categories versus a guy who has like a 7, a 5, a 5, a 2, and a 2. The 5 out of 10 in all categories, even though it's a lesser overall number, is better.
Yeah, because a lot of times with attraction, your weakest hand, your weakest link will...
That's where the chain breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it falls off. I think, he's got some good ideas, but what is sort of emerging in this podcast episode is the idea of looks maxing, or what we're now creating as like perception maxing. It actually starts outside of the face and the body. There's like this overarching energy that you have as a person, and let's max from there.
Yeah.
One thing that I realized in my early days of facing rejection from women, especially towards the end of high school, I think I spent like 6 years being very much in like with one person. I had a strong case of one-itis. The thing is, she was one of my friends, and her friendship was valuable to me, but it still felt painful in a way to be around her, because even in an extended friend group with this person, there was this constant awareness that moment by moment she is rejecting me because being next to her, like, you actually want to be my friend, but you're not attracted to me. that's why sometimes if you like someone and they friend zone you, it's better to cut them off because it's painful to be friends with someone that you're in.
I think you got to hightail out of there, man.
Yeah. But I, chose to be friends. It was like friendship, and we were friends in a larger group, so it would kind of disband the group at large if I made a scene.
Yeah, and I mean, you were in high school. It's like this was not.
Yeah, high school. Honestly, it went from high school to my first year in LA. Like it was a span of 6 years or something.
Gotcha.
But one thing that made me deal with that better, and has made me deal better with that throughout my life, because there's been a lot of rejection just in terms of life in general.
Yep.
I mean, same with you, same with anyone who tries, is never stop moving and never stop doing. Ask yourself in the quiet space of your mind what the next thing is in this moment. It's a Taoist mantra that I really adhere to when I'm struggling, is like, what's the next thing? Every moment. Sometimes the next thing is like drink a glass of water, make yourself a coffee, go to the gym. Sometimes it's something bigger, like do 4 hours of deep work on this thing. But I always try to get myself to do the next thing and just put my mind and my soul into that very next thing. And it distracts me from the pain.
That's what I'm saying. If you have a quiet moment, your mind is just going to race back to that thing that's causing you pain.
So one thing I want to ask you is, you have done a bit of LooksMaxxing. Was it conscious or unconscious? And how has it come about? In the 2 years I've known you, there has been some LooksMaxxing going on.
Yes, I agree. A lot of it was pretty conscious, just general things like you would always kind of berate me for my pants, my sweatpants. So I just bought some like regular pants. I would berate Nikhil for his sock choices because he'd always have mismatched socks and he'd walk around with one sock on like a child. And they'd be filled with holes. And I said, you need to get yourself some socks. And now he wears matching socks like a real man. So yeah, like the clothing upgrades, that was very conscious, like just comporting myself in a clean, nice, sleek way whenever I exit the apartment. If I'm in the apartment, I can look like a gremlin, but who cares? No one sees me. Mm-hmm. The lifting thing is, I've always just loved lifting for lifting.
Yeah.
And
you've never had a problem with that.
No, I'll just say that it was never like, I was never lifting for LooksMaxxing purposes. Mm-hmm. That was like a nice added benefit, and it's not something that I'm not privy to. Like I will like get a set of curls in just because like, hey, pump up the biceps. Why not? Mm-hmm. But it's like, I just love maxing out on bench. Like I just love PRs. I just want to lift. So that I could say unconscious LooksMaxxing, but like I'm lifting for me. I'm lifting to Soul Max, So
Soul Max, dude. I like your new Max terminology.
I know. The thing is, these nerds add fucking pill and max to every single word in the book.
Let's just not stop doing this. Yeah. Let's actually, what I want to do is like become a red pill channel, but then just like make it like in my own way.
Yeah. Well, we'll just co-opt red pill.
Yeah.
And then make it just not fucking stupid.
Yeah. I was most surprised by your clothing upgrades. That's why a lot of these things are unrelated. And I'm inclined to think a lot of what you've done actually has been maybe semi-conscious, but like, I mean, I don't know. I notice it in small ways in you. This is about to get kind of gay.
Yes. I think a lot of it, let me just add in before you go and be, I think a lot of it's like monkey see, monkey do, It's like not super conscious, but I'm seeing the way you handle yourself and dress, and I'm like subtly copying you.
True. We copy each other. We take on each other's mannerisms because we just spend so much time with each other.
Yes.
That's just like tribal mentality.
And that's like the big, self-help trope of like, you are the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
You truly do take on a lot of the people you surround yourself with, their activities, their habits.
And I think throughout my, honestly, age 15 onwards, I've been obsessed with like physical elegance is how I would label it. Like I would gel my hair as a 14-year-old. I didn't quite have it together then, but I would try to find a way. By the way, some people ask me what I put in my hair. It's like this tea tree oil thing. I don't know. Just get some paste. If you're an Indian person watching this, matte finish. And now I get the fades done more regularly. When it blends into the beard, I think it's quite cute.
I agree. It's pristine.
But like I was surprised in subtle ways, like you actually, like even when you tie up your hair, there's more elegance to your look. There's a more refined look on you. Maybe it's just the fact that you're getting older and that like that naturally kicks in. Maybe it's the fact that you put on probably like, I want to say at least 12 pounds of muscle since when we first met.
Yeah, a significant amount, you know. Yeah, and like even the hair, it's like smaller things like changing to a wider toothed comb, which is like more flattering on my hair.
Yeah.
Stupid things like that. Like
yeah, see, I didn't know you did that, but I just have to kind of subtly notice like your hair looks better just kind of resting in a man bun, even though you've always kept it in a man bun.
Yeah.
I mean, often.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't wear those sweatpants anymore to work. It's
Definitely
like,
learn to finesse a few things better.
Now you wear like classy athleisure wear, and you wear like these low collar shirts.
Well, now it's like also, now that I've put the muscle on, it's like, oh, I have something to show off.
Yeah, you got more to show off.
You know.
Plus, your forearms look fucking huge from all that climbing you've done.
Always, yeah.
That's just repulsive.
Flattering
I
feature.
hate you so much. I think I need to start climbing.
Yeah. I feel like that's one maybe that you're not, you got boxing. You know?
Yeah, I can't add in too much.
Yeah. And I'm also like, I feel like just knowing you might be just frightened by climbing.
Oh yeah, I'm so scared of heights.
Yeah.
Also, my best feature is my back. So boxing kind of helps accentuate that.
Climbing helps your back too. So,
oh yeah.
You know, just constantly pulling yourself.
And also, I mean for like filming purposes. But then it would show
yeah.
from the back anyway if you were to like film me climbing. This is how we fucking think, guys. It's like, how do I, not only is this, how does this hobby look good? How do I look good showing it off?
Yeah, it's like is the hobby fun or fulfilling? That's like the last thing on the list.
Who cares?
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, LooksMaxxing is a real thing that every guy should take interest in, honestly. You should take into consideration how you can be the most attractive personification of yourself.
Yeah.
It's actually a very high ROI. It's a very worthwhile use of your time to try to get yourself looking as sexy as possible.
And I think even like absorbing the tips of these guys like Wheatwaffles, it's like they're clearly onto something.
No, they are.
They got it. But I just, you know, they make it everything, which is where I draw the line. But like a guy like First Man, we'll talk about LooksMaxxing, and I think if you guys want to watch a good LooksMaxxing video, he's got a really good 30-minute video about it. And that's something where the message stays positive. He's not like a defeatist idiot the way kind of Wheatwaffles is. And so, I pick and choose what you absorb, because as we've said, you're watching a lot of Wheatwaffles videos, it does something negative to your brain.
Yeah, you just feel dejected. So let's move into the second half of the video where we actually break down like everything we can think of how to LooksMaxx and how to not artificially lose points. And I think we're going to go overarching, like more like mindset philosophy, because like we talked about earlier, it might be the highlight of this podcast is like the aura, you know?
Yeah.
The whole vibration part of you. And then we'll go into like the nitty gritty of what we can think of.
Yeah. And I think the important thing there is like for the overarching, it's like if the fire in your soul goes out, you're not doing. You can't do the rest,
dude. You gotta be passionate and excited about something in your life. I mean, maybe let's kick things off. Maybe the very first thing you can do to LooksMaxx, Perception Max, Life Max, is have something that's at most 3 months away, maybe between a month and 3 months away, that excites you.
Yes,
there's something you're gonna do with your life. Tim Ferriss would talk about this often. He's like, why chase happiness? I don't even understand what happiness is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put my endeavors towards excitement. And throughout my life, I'm always going to have something on the horizon that I associate with excitement, because that is kind of like, it's easier to understand. It's easier to quantify.
And whenever you're doing anything that's kind of slightly hard, you always have that thing to be like, well, it's for that. I'm doing this for that. You know, signing up for a half marathon. Whenever I'm in the middle of a run, it's like, this is for that. I'm going to be running this. So this is why I'm doing this on a daily basis. You always have a reason to fall back on.
Yeah. What's on your 3-month horizon?
What's on my 3-month horizon? I just did a couple of exciting things. So.
Yeah, you had some crazy collabs. Thomas's newest video on his channel is a fucking banger. Guys, check it out on Mammoth in Space. It's like an interrogation.
Shout out
sketch.
Wizards with Guns. Yeah. One of the funniest channels on YouTube. So
yeah, they're
good.
great.
I think I got my buddy's wedding in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
And you know, as much of a like just annoyance and a nuisance, he's never gonna see this. As much of a fucking nuisance it is that I have to go to Mexico for this bitch's wedding. It's like I am excited to see my friends that I haven't seen in like 6 years, and you know, it's a trip, it's a wedding. I want to look nice.
It's a chance for you to flex your sexiness.
Yeah, I want to get like a nice suit. I want to LooksMaxx myself for that.
Yeah, totally.
Nobody to impress really, but my friends. I want to be like, yeah, I'm better than you.
Totally. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that does sound fun.
Yeah.
I am excited about a 6-minute mile time. I guess I always have a few things on the horizon where if I actually get myself to think about it, I'm like, oh, I'm really pumped on this. But I've now been making strength progress for 7 months, and I'm just a little bit sick of the bulk. I probably, if I was truly like thinking long term, I should probably continue the bulk until a whole year from now, because then I'll squeeze out every ounce of the newbie gains.
Yeah.
But I just am more excited about speed and endurance. And with spring around the corner, I've never been a fast runner, and I just got myself a running coach. I'm excited. Like I train with aesthetics as the second thing in mind, in mind. But I try to go for performance first. And I know that if I go for performance, sometimes the aesthetics just take care of themselves because they have to.
Yeah.
If you're getting stronger, it means you're probably putting on muscle.
It's definitely going to be happening.
Yeah. That's like one of the most surefire indicators that you're making gains is that you get stronger. But now I want to do it in the direction of a cut. But I don't want to do a cut in the sense of like, oh, I'm cutting calories, even though I will now start eating at a slight deficit. But I just want to get fast and see how it might change my body and my face. And I'm excited about speed. That's just one of them.
Yeah, I'd say a physical one for me is I have a stress fracture in my foot right now, and I'm just annoyed at how long it's taking to heal.
Yeah.
So I can't go for bench maxes because I can't drive my feet into the floor.
Yep.
But what I can push to the limits is my weighted pull-ups. And so I'm like, all right, I just want to build up to a plate for 5 reps. Which that's probably not even high enough of a goal. But if I can do like 3x5 with a plate on me, I'll be happier. Cause I've just like been at a real struggle wall with like, why go to the gym? I can't go for PRs. And I was really struggling to like find any excitement. Volume with like 185 for like 5x8 doesn't excite me like a PR does.
Yeah.
So I have to like I had to find something, and I think pull-ups will keep getting me in there. But this is one of those examples you meet resistance. You kind of have to get creative and like what the hell you want.
You had to find your next one that was available to you. I guess I'm also excited for a couple of business goals in the horizon. Just we've launched our app. It is in the App Store, but it's not the final version of it. There's just some other components that I'm working on and putting more money into it now, like maybe an extra $10,000 ultimately to make it the best habit tracker on the App Store.
Yeah.
And I have a business coach. I have a relationship coach, or like an emotional intelligence coach. I have all these coaches now. A running coach. I still have the strength coach. And I'm excited to I'm going to be the most coachable client ever. With the summer around the corner, there's just more hours in the day to just go out and about and do things. And I'm just going to do more than ever. And I'm just generically excited about what'll happen if I just keep putting the work in that regard. So I mean, to hammer home, the very first thing you can do to LooksMaxx is to actually have something on the horizon that you can genuinely be excited about, and that'll make a difference, and it'll be cool. You might be like, oh, why would I be excited about this in the moment? But like when you actually start making progress towards anything, even if it's simple, I mean, in some ways, like running a 6-minute mile, it's kind of a simple thing. But like once you actually start making progress towards even your small goals, you don't always have to like set the goal of being a millionaire. It feels great. You just start feeling happy. You feel enthusiastic about waking up the next morning and doing something. And that's all you need. Second thing I would say is that there are a few baseline things that it is useful to work towards, even though it's not related to your face or your body, that will make LooksMaxxing in the long haul more possible. One of them is having your own crib, having your own place. And 2 is having a job where it is reasonably possible to keep increasing your salary. Now, those things don't inherently affect your face or your body, right? You're not changing your looks with those things, but it kind of makes it possible that you can keep LooksMaxxing throughout your life. Because you need to have your own domain, your own kingdom. You need to be able to kind of set your own schedule to some degree. And I mean, especially in the Indian communities, it's very common to stay living with your parents or live in a joint family into your 30s and beyond. And in terms of like a family dynamic, all like honestly keeping your parents happy and keeping them healthy and alive. It's been shown that it's good for them, but I think it's good for your own personal development to have your own place and to have your own money and to keep making progress in those terrains.
I think that's one of like the most necessary things for personal development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just even just in terms of like that's almost the second most important like mindset shift. Like,
yeah, when I have coaching clients and they are, living at home, I mean, if it's like 26 and under, I give it a little more grace. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. You're kind of just stacking money right now. That's cool.
Yep.
But like as some of my clients get into like their late 20s or 30s, I'm like, man, you're really holding yourself back. And from the American experience, it's like living at home while you're 30. That's kind of crazy, but it's actually more common than you would think, especially with the economy and the rate of inflation of currency. It's sort of become more common.
I think one thing that just will do, if you move out, and let's say you're kind of cutting it a little close, like make sure you're not going to get evicted, but
yeah,
it will just throw fuel on the fire.
Dude, you'll be a hungrier animal, and that'll make you happier. It'll make you more stressed and miserable in the immediate, but in the long term, it's going to be really good for you.
You will thank yourself later.
Totally.
Yeah. What are some things like with LooksMaxxing, actual LooksMaxxing?
Yeah, now with those two things out of the way, we can get more into, I don't know, the actual LooksMaxxing in the truer sense of the word.
What do you feel like for you is one of like the biggest LooksMaxx needle movers?
Well, so in strength training, you make the most rapid gains the first 2 years. You make the most rapid gains the first year, and then the next most is the second year, but it does slow down considerably by the second year. And then the third year onwards, it becomes quite hard. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the gym and making progress in the gym, it actually is like, I would love to be a guy who like works out and like the workout is part of my life, but I don't think about it too much. But in order to hit everything really well, like getting enough sleep, getting your macros right, making sure you're progressive overloading on the right days, it takes a lot of your attention. So I think there's a 3-year period. It takes 3 years basically to get the body looking close to its ideal, where like the hockey stick goes far enough where you can probably like go to hit maintenance mode after the first 3 years.
Yeah.
And what 3 years of lifting will do on a program will add 15 to 20 pounds of muscle on your frame and then allow you to get lean as well.
For sure. And
I think the hockey stick that I'm working towards now is 15 to 20 pounds of muscle more than I was 7 months ago. And so I'm probably like halfway towards that goal at this point. Mm-hmm. And then cutting down to 15% body fat. Someone like First Man would say like 12% or 10% is even better. You get like a really chiseled face at 10%. Hollow cheeks and stuff. I think the way I feel about it right now, I feel that it's a hard body fat percentage to maintain.
Yeah, and the thing is right now, at least, I'm not single, so I'd be like, who am I cutting for?
Yeah.
Why do I want 10%, even though I feel like I'm floating around 13 or 14, Yeah, you at like maybe 13%. I feel like that's as lean as anyone reasonable. Your abs are completely visible. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty good. And, your face is very lean. Like me, because I've been bulking for the last 7 months, my face is not as lean as it could be. But at the same time, I'd rather... it's kind of an investment in the long term. You want to put on that frame first, that muscle first. And so it's like hard to LooksMaxx quickly with this, but building up if you do all the research and you figure it out, building up a great body as a guy, fully, kind of like really close to being like appropriately maxed out on it, takes 3 years. And in fact, in 2 years, you can do a ton of damage. So just get on that. I've started telling my coaching clients, like, if you're not on a strength program, just get on that, man. Because what it is like a lot of them, when you're like 22 or 25, even if you haven't started lifting, you don't have shoulders. And the shoulders and the neck, they frame the rest of your body. And then when you cut down, you get a narrow waist. And that shoulder to waist ratio, like your clothes fit better. Everything just looks better. You look like a man.
You fill it out, and I can't even like pretend that when I see a guy with like a really pencil neck and like thin shoulders, I'm like, I could flick you and you'd fall down.
It's hard. I mean, I'm only slightly bigger than I was 7 months ago, but I get so much more respect for men, just people in general. I get like more head nods and
people
stuff.
People think I'm taller because my breath, like I'm just wider.
Yeah, you take up more space. Horizontally, in terms of shoulders are really important for framing the clothes that you're like a you're
and you know, if you lift in the correct way, it's like lifting will also just help your posture because your back and your neck are going to be stronger. You're going to be able to hold yourself more upright. You will look like more of a confident man just by the way your muscles exist.
Yeah, and there's something repulsive about like narrow shoulders and a skinny neck.
There's something that like I just want to like put my hand around and squeeze it.
It's yeah.
You know, it's no good.
So that's the first and foremost of the LooksMaxxing. Now, if you get on this journey, you'll probably look a little puffier in the face. If you're in a caloric surplus, and it's hard to put on muscle and cut fat at the same time.
You can't unless you want to take gear.
Yeah.
And hey, that's your choice.
So that's the phase I'm in right now, where I'm a little fuller looking than I would be otherwise, but I like legit have to eat more calories if I want to make the weight go up.
You have to embrace the chub if you want to get bigger.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is.
Yeah, for me right now, I'm just going to do a quick mini cut and then I'm going to go back to the bulk just because I need a break from eating so much. So yeah, the very first thing for LooksMaxxing, because it's just entirely within your control. It affects so many aspects of your life. And fuck what Wheatwaffles says. Build up your frame. Build up a good masculine frame.
Does he not say you should do that?
He says you should go to the gym and stay lean, but he like just is defeatist with the whole like short guys.
Yeah. Yes, even if you're short, get in the gym. You will just thank yourself, you know?
You'll just look better in your clothes.
Yeah.
All right. Secondly, face optimization is like these are really quick fixes. Don't have a unibrow. You can just tweeze that shit up. I've been tweezing, you know, I would totally have a complete unibrow.
Yeah.
If I didn't. But I've been tweezing it since I was like probably 14.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I did it, I just became so much better looking right away. And on that same note, like, don't let your haircut get too poofy. Like, find a haircut. It's very within your control to find a hairstyle that works for you. If you are balding, don't let it be sloppy. Just make that thing look clean.
Yeah. If you're balding, no, like, side, just shave your head.
A little bit of widow's peak and stuff kind of actually has a maturity and elegance to it.
I'm talking bad.
If it's like you got a big spot or something, I would rather just be bald.
Yeah. And embrace the clean bald look. Yeah, become Jason Statham.
Yeah, go Jason Statham.
We saw a bald guy the other day. He looks so fucking great.
So good.
See, men are the only one who appreciate other men when they look good. It's sad.
Yeah, just clean up those lines. I noticed that even like 7 months ago, I would let my hair get so poofy on the sides. And now I just keep it tighter. And
you look way better. Your haircuts look way better.
Yeah, it has made a huge difference, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, why was I just not getting haircuts so regularly? It was weird. I guess I didn't realize it was.
And it was also like peak COVID. It was hard.
Yeah, I could have done better, though. I mean, I look back now from pictures of me from like a year and a half ago. I mean, there was a time where we were starting to look the same because I was letting my hair grow out. And in moments, that long, shaggy look was kind of looking cool on me. But a lot of times, I look like a 70s disco guy.
Oh, man. Like, when the hair's in the middle length area,
yeah,
it is just so hit or miss. It is so hard to control.
I think most facial frames will look good with a fade.
Mm-hmm. I'd even look good with a fade if I decided to cut all this.
Yeah, if you decided to go with a fade, you would look good. It's kind of like, is ubiquitous the right word?
Yes.
Yeah.
One size fits all.
One size fits all.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you have such a unique thing with the man bun that I would be reluctant to ever let it go.
That's how I feel now.
Yeah.
But like, this is another one of those things that's like a year time investment if you want to go for it.
Yeah.
And it's also just like, I'd never had a man bun before. That it's, you know, it's a toss up whether.
Dude, I wish I could have one. I kind of regret the fact that my life has never had a man bun era.
Yeah.
I do think they're kind of cool.
That's how I wanted to do it. I was like, dude, I got one time to try this and it's now.
Yeah. I mean, I look at like photos of like Johnny Depp in the peak of his career, like from like Chocolat or something.
Yeah.
Like long hair, if you can, it's more work, but if you can pull it off, it looks really cool.
Yeah. I mean, look at how sexy Peter McKinnon
is. Peter McKinnon looks great with long hair.
Yeah.
Another component, and this is why I emphasize money before some of these other things, is wardrobe and money and frame. Like you build up the frame. Having your own sense of style, like letting it develop. I think we almost don't need to go into the particulars with this, but it's useful to make money so that you can choose what your style is. And I'm in it. My style has had eras. There would be times where I just loved button downs for some reason. Now I couldn't ever want to wear a button down. It's more like Henleys and short sleeve Henleys. I'm kind of in like a athleisure kind of phase of my life. And t-shirts and athleisure, but like high quality t-shirts. I mean, it's like $100 for one of these, but like it fits in just the right way where I'm like okay with it.
Flattering choices for your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially clothing that emphasizes your shoulders.
Your frame and your musculature, man. Like just taper perfectly around your biceps if you've got them. You know?
That reminds me also, like with fit, like guys sometimes neglect developing their butt and their thighs. But like having thick thighs and a bit of an ass, which now that I've been fucking deadlifting for like 7 months, I've actually, for the first time, I don't have a flat butt. I mean, it feels weird to say all this, but like you fit your pants better. I've got like chunkier legs.
Yeah.
And my pants fit better and I just look cooler.
You're talking to a guy who's been genetically blessed in the booty department.
You've got a great booty, bro.
I know. It's a solid.
One time Thomas decided to like shoot in a tree. He like climbed up a tree, but then poor guy couldn't get down.
I was afraid to get down by myself.
So I just grabbed
My ass.
nice. It was a good juicy butt.
And I have a pending sexual assault lawsuit. That's why he has to pay me so much, because he
trying to keep him quiet.
Violated me. Yeah, I agree. I just having your pants like.
Yeah.
You there's the picture of like the skinny guy with no shoulders and like the suit with the shoulders that go out like an inch further.
Yeah.
And it's like
awful.
Even if you're small, go to a tailor. Like figure it out.
Actually, if you can just make sure the shoulder line hits perfectly, and then now I wear tighter pants than I used to, and in order for them to feel comfortable, it's more like stretch fit. I found like one set of pants. The pants I wore is like they're Lucky's 411 or something, Lucky brand, and then Lululemons, those two, and then Vuori actually.
I wear Lululemons. They go hard,
dude. Yeah, it's like because it fits really slim around the thigh.
Yeah.
And it's tight in the waist, but it's stretchy, so you can still move in them comfortably. It's like the problem with wearing tight pants in the past is that they would feel so uncomfortable.
Restrictive, yeah.
Yeah, but if it's a stretchy material, you look really good in tighter pants.
Yeah.
Just having things a little tighter on your frame. With all of these, in place, I will also say, shoes do ground your entire wardrobe look. Like, if your shoes are ugly, especially... Like, I think guys look great in boots. Like, if you have high quality boots, it somehow just frames the whole outfit. Because guys can just look good in a t-shirt if you've got the body for it.
Yes.
But there's something like important about having good shoes. Honestly, you just need one pair.
Yeah, I think my shoe game is like one of my weaker links. So it's something that I've consistently gone back to like, I should get a pair of shoes, but I don't. So I should do that.
I mean, you've got one set of boots that look good.
Yeah.
But I would agree that it's the weakest era of your style. With the summer, I think it matters slightly less.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, an easy go-to is like a nice pair of Chelsea boots. I have like 7 pairs of boots now. They're all from Thursday Boots. And I find them very aesthetic. I also go to Huckberry, the site Huckberry for boots. I tend to wear boots more than sneakers just because I feel like they're manlier in a way.
Yes. I will wear boots during the 8-month-long Minnesota winter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, Minnesota is good for, obviously in the summer. That's not necessarily best advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, form-fitting clothes once you have a little bit of a frame.
I think with the tweezer thing, I think brush your teeth, make sure there's nothing in them, make sure your breath doesn't stink, make sure you don't stink.
Bad breath is like a instant kill, even if you're a fucking alpha Chad.
Yes.
I use Listerine strips because they like blast your breath with.
Oh, really?
I buy them by the 20 pack. Like, I find them very useful, but it actually is a good idea to often have gum on you because you and I we go long hours shooting. Maybe I grab a quick bite in the middle of things. You never know. It's always nice to have something on hand. It's like I keep it as a part of my everyday carry, gum or mints or something, just so that you're not offensive.
Yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan of gum or mints. I actually hate chewing gum.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, I do intermittent fasting, so I only eat twice a day.
Yeah.
So after each meal, I just brush my fucking teeth a little.
Yep.
And like, I make sure everything's fine. I don't think I have a breath problem.
No, I've never noticed it in you, but I think I am prone to bad breath a little bit.
Yeah.
So I keep things on hand. Like I have travel size things of mouthwash in my car. Like I pay attention to it. I think it's really important.
Yeah.
This is a little, now we're getting into the nitty gritty micro because we covered the bigger bases.
Yes.
But having maybe not a skincare routine, but like whatever little hygiene efforts you need to be making for your skin and your beard or lack of beard, whatever it might be,
Yep.
to keep things just slightly polished. I think eventually every guy should look into an under eye, because this is like the first area where aging starts to show up, is the under eye area, especially for the South Asian viewers. Like, we tend to have deep set eyes, so that's something to watch out for. I use Paula's Choice skincare products. I've used Tej Hanley in the past because they've sponsored the videos, but Paula's Choice, especially, they've got something like a clear skin hydrator. Sometimes when I'm disciplined, I use something like a vitamin C serum on my face, and I instantly notice a better glow. In terms of like skin looking vibrant and lustrous, I've noticed that there's been now a little bit of a debate about like vegetables, Paul Saladino and the whole movement towards like anti-vegetables. But I find like if I eat kale, then my skin looks more lustrous, genuinely. And then because we can't go an episode without it, when I am consistent on a no-fab streak, they say, your sperm, your jizz, your man juice, has vitamin C, it has zinc, potassium. It has all these nutrients that travel up the spine and literally nourish your face.
They hang out in your face pores. Yes. So it's basically like if you do no fap, you're going to be coming on your own face.
Thomas and I, we got some streaks going, and you can see like just the cum glowing skin on our face.
That is, see, when you're glowing on no fap, it is cum on your face. But it's your own, so it's not weird.
It's not weird. It's not, yeah. Once again, scientifically proven. I can't really find the literature right this second, but if we ever come across it.
Well, like, you guys could just Google it or something. It doesn't matter. But
yeah,
I just moisturize.
Yeah.
I just know that I have dry skin, so I moisturize. I moisturize my tattoos so they look, dark and crisp.
Yeah.
Just the little things.
I look better with a beard, and I look better with a beard and fade blend.
I have the man bun, but you have the beard. Because I can't grow a beard for shit.
We're kind of like we represent opposite ends of the globe. You're Viking blood, and I represent the motherland.
Yes,
the land of spices.
Yes.
Man, I think that just about covers it. Mm-hmm. You've got your body, you've got a sense of style, and you've got hygiene.
And it's like you can like delve into it's obviously an individual basis. Mm-hmm. So it's like wherever you're lacking, you would know best. So cover that.
I don't have as much experience with this stuff, but like Chris from First Man would talk about things like chewing mastic gum will build a better jawline.
Yeah.
Or orthotropic exercises, tongue exercises, mewing, of course, blew up for a while a couple of years ago. I don't know. I will say when you cut down to a low body fat, sub 15%, then the jawline naturally comes in for a lot of guys. And
I'm also like, aren't we on the 20% of the Pareto principle at that point?
Yeah.
Aren't we on the super minutia?
Yeah.
Like cover the like life maxing shit we started with first. And if you're like so maxed out in everything that you're on that, it's like, bro, you're winning already.
Yeah, once you get to that mastic gum part of things, I'm like, let's just go back to life maxing. Let's just go back to chasing our goals and being excited.
Yeah.
Because you've LooksMaxxed enough at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I feel like do you feel anything lacking in me and from a LooksMaxxing perspective, or am I on the journey across the board anyway?
I think you're on the journey across the board anyway. It's like nothing stands out to me, which I think is the thing you're trying to avoid, right? It's like you don't want someone to be like, about a particular quality. Obviously you want to be like the most striking, beautiful man ever, but it's like, I really think what LooksMaxxing, what we're trying to do is like cover the offensive shit up. Yeah, don't have bad breath, and then you won't get that demerit against you. Yeah. Yeah, same with me to you, just the minutia. Like, I will say you're fat as fuck. Yeah. Hey, it's bulking season. I've been bulking for so long. Yes. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you got some value out of this one. Thomas and I, we are on Instagram. If you want to connect with us, ask us questions. We've been engaging more. Some people have been sending me emails saying that the podcast has been helpful. So you can find us across the board. It's kind of hard to respond to everyone, but I do my best. I try to at least leave a heart on them. So yeah, connect with us on Instagram and Raja Pandey, Mammoth in Space. And that's been this week's episode. Greatness is coming. Becoming the Killer podcast every Sunday. Catch you guys next time. What it do, what it does, where you been, where you was, but it ain't what it is. Face in the mud, I really be hating in the mud. Said I can't pick it up, but I did. Y'all know Goon put too much bass in the sub. Cup full of blood and I gave